Welcome to math time again, second graders. Today you will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil or something to write with. Today we are going to work on solving word problems involving the total value of a group of bills. We are going to continue using the REW strategy, where we read the problem, draw and label, write number sentences, and write a statement. Let's look at this first problem. Alyssa has 5 $5 bills, 12 $1 bills, and 3 $10 bills in her wallet. How much money is in her wallet? Pause the video and start drawing and labeling a picture or diagram to represent this problem. Thinking about your picture, what are you trying to find? We are trying to find how much money Alyssa has in her wallet. Does your drawing or diagram represent that? Let's solve it together. Let's look at this video of her money being represented in a drawing. First, Alyssa has 5 $5 bills. Then she has 12 $1 bills. Then finally, she has 3 $10 bills. This could have been one of the ways I drew and labeled a picture to represent this problem. I'm now going to find the total of each group just to help me find the total in her wallet. So a number sentence I could write would be 25 plus 12 plus 30 would give us our total for how much Alyssa has in her pocket. Another way we could have represented this problem is using a number bond, where we know the different parts that Alyssa has, such as 25 with her 5 $5 bills, 12 with her 12 $1 bills, and 30 with her 3 $10 bills, which would give us a total of $67, which would be our whole. That's one way we could have also represented the problem. There are other ways we can represent the problem as well, such as a tape diagram. Think to yourself, before I write in the different parts and whole, where we might put the numbers 25, 12, 30, and now 67. We know that these squares represent the different parts, and the parts in this problem are 25, 12, and 30, where this represents the whole, which is 67, the whole where it's added all together. So these are 3 different ways that you could have represented this problem. It's important that you use a strategy or picture that makes the most sense to you. Some people might find it easier to draw each of the bills, even if it takes a little bit more time, and some people might find it easier to use number bonds or a tape diagram. What's most important about a drawing is that it makes sense to you. But as we continue to solve, you might want to think about which might make sense to you and is also efficient. We're going to look at another problem now. We're still going to follow the RDW strategy, where R stands for read the problem, D stands for draw and label, and W stands for write number sentences and write a statement. Let's read this problem together. Silas uses 2 $20 bills, 3 $5 bills, and 4 $1 bills on a gift for his aunt. He is going to save the rest. If Silas started with $80, how much will he save? Now, take some time and draw and label a picture. After you've drawn your picture, really try to think about what are you trying to find. In this problem, we're trying to find how much money Silas saved. In order to do that, we need to figure out how much money he spent and then take it away from how much he had at the beginning. There are different ways that you could have drawn and labeled a picture or diagram to represent this problem. What we need to figure out first is how much money Silas spent on his aunt. The way I figured that out was drawing my bills out, my 2 $20 bills, my 3 $5 bills, and my 4 $1 bills, and adding up those numbers to find out how much money he spent on his aunt. In total, Silas spent $59 on his aunt, but that doesn't answer our question. Our question is, if Silas started with $80, how much will he save? So if we look at this problem, what we're trying to do is find a missing part. We know that the whole, what Silas started with, was $80, and we know that one of the parts is how much he spent on his aunt, which is $59, and what we're trying to find out is this other part, the rest of the money that he saved. You could have also represented this problem using a number bond, where 80 is still the whole in this problem. 59 is one of the parts, the amount that Silas spent on his aunt, and we're still missing another part. You could have also used a tape diagram to show this. Again, where 80 is our whole, 59 is one of our parts, and we're still missing one part. Remember, to figure out a missing part in a problem, we take the whole, which is 80, and we subtract one of the parts to find the other part. So I need to do 80 minus 59 to find my missing part. I will need to regroup and decompose one of my 10s to have enough to subtract. So we found out our missing part is 21. If I were to write a statement that answers this question, I would say that Silas saved $21. That would be my answer statement. Let's try another problem together. Again, we are following the RDW strategy. Let's first read the problem. Diep has 4 $10 bills and 6 $5 bills. She has 25 more dollars than Kristen. How much money does Kristen have? So again, draw and label a picture on your own paper that represents this problem. Pause the video as you do this. Now that you have a picture that you've drawn that represents this problem, let's look at it together. We need to figure out how much money Des has first. So I again drew out my bills where I have 4 $10 bills and 6 $5 bills to find out how much money Des has in total. Then, after that, we need to look back at the problem very carefully. It says that she, Des, has $25 more than Kristen. The words more and less in a word problem can be tricky, and it's really important to pay attention to those words. I'm going to draw a bar diagram to represent what's happening in this problem. In a bar diagram, I know that one bar is usually bigger and one bar is usually smaller. So looking at these two bars and thinking about my problem, it says that she has $25 more than Kristen. That means Des has more money than Kristen, which means that Des's bar should be the bigger bar. So I'm going to label it D for Des, and I'm going to put how much money she has total there, which I figured out after drawing her money on the left side of the screen. So Des had $70. I'm going to label my bar diagram with $70 for Des. That means my other bar is Kristen's, and in our problem it just says that Des has 25 more than Kristen, which means the difference between Des's bar and Kristen's bar is $25. So that's this part here. It's not how much Kristen has. We don't know how much Kristen has. That's what we're trying to figure out. Looking at this bar diagram and thinking about what I know of part whole, I can see that in this case our whole is 70 and one of our parts is 25. So I need to subtract 25 from 70 to figure out how much money Kristen has. Continue doing this work on your own piece of paper, and come back and check your answer with me. I got 45, not just 45, but $45. Now, if I were to write an answer statement to answer this problem, I would say that Kristen has $45. Is that what you got, second graders? Today we practiced solving word problems involving the total value of a group of bills. Some reminders for us is that we have daily assignments on Schoology that we can do either in a Due Today folder or some other type of folder with our daily assignments. Check with your teacher if you need help with what we learned today or if you need help getting onto Schoology. Have a great week!